popularity of programs like America's Ballroom Challenge right here on PBS and Dancing with the Stars, interest in really learning how to dance has skyrocketed. That's where Christine Shellquist enters the picture. She's a professional dance instructor and trainer, and Connecting Point producer Dave Fraser caught up with Christine Shellquist and two of her star students at Ballroom Fever in Enfield.
4, 5, 6, good.
I've been teaching for 13 years, and in that time, I've heard 1,000 different reasons why people want to dance and why they come through the door. It's been really neat since the shows have aired on TV, the ballroom dancing shows. Those shows began on television at the beginning of my career, and I did see a shift. People came in wanting to know more about what is this style of dance. A lot of people have never heard of it. They didn't know that it really existed or what it is or can they do it. When I have newcomers come in, the first thing I try to do is help them feel comfortable, and the most importantly, show them that they can do this, which is actually the coolest part of being an instructor, is when they have that surprised moment and look down at their feet and start to laugh, or a look of shock of, I'm actually doing this. Everyone has that moment of, I'm actually doing this.
This is a bucket list. This is something I want to learn how to do. When I was younger, dancing on the dance floor was more like waddling like a penguin. You would just stand and kind of bounce back and forth to the rhythm of the music. I never really ever learned where the proper feet were, the proper hand motion, just the sophisticated way of dancing. What happens when you start to dance and start to feel comfortable, the rest of the world goes away. You hear the music, you hear your instructor, you don't feel or even hear the other dancers around you. You're totally focused on what you're doing.
I've always danced when I was in school, ever since I was in grade school. It relieves the stress from me, makes me happy. I meet a lot of people, I make a lot of friends. It improves my balance and coordination, my flexibility, and it's just something I love doing. So I'm trying to concentrate on the steps and trying to make sure that my frame is correct, that I'm using my toes or my heels, whichever is the right one to use, and I'm shaping like my instructor would like me to do.
When I see that glimmer in somebody's eye that they just achieved something, whether it's their first step or if it was a technique that they've been working on for a while, when I see that little sparkle in their eye, that makes it all worth it. And I leave work, I don't even call it work, I leave with a smile every day, and I can't wait to come back and inspire someone else, I hope.
This is just the beginning. There are so many different steps. I started with what I thought would be the easiest as a waltz, but there's so many other steps to learn, so many other things to investigate. As the adage is, you don't know what you don't know. I really don't know what's out there, but I want to try whatever I can.